After watching this video lecture, students are going to be able to understand how to access their lecture notes. You're going to know how to correctly format those notes so that you can earn maximum points. And of course, you're going to know how to subscribe to Mrs. Martin's YouTube account. So the first thing that we're going to look at is the access component of our video lecture notes. So everybody has a Schoology account and you are all enrolled in my course. So what you're going to do is obviously go onto Schoology and open my course documentation. You're then going to go to the video lecture files for whatever unit you're in, and you're going to click on that. And it's going to drop down the various video lectures for the unit. Now, let's say we're starting with, obviously, video lecture number 1 for Unit 7. Notice it has a breakdown of what those videos entail. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to click here on the Unit 7 video lecture number 1. You're going to click on that. When you click on that, it drops down all of your assignments in terms of what videos you should be watching and the approximate time you're going to need in order to watch those notes. Okay, what you're then going to do is you're going to click on the link here. The link is going to bring you to the YouTube page where I keep all of the video lectures. And it's going to open up kind of like what you see here. Now, what's going to happen, guys, is it's going to open to this particular unit's video lectures. So it's not always that the video lecture that pops up is going to actually be the one that you're needing to watch, because as you can see, we have 2 different video lectures that are part of this assignment. So notice it pops up, or it starts on the first of those 2 video lectures. Okay, so you need to watch that, but you also need to watch this video lecture right here. So what would end up happening is you would watch this first video, take notes on it, and then you would need to click on here, and that would bring up the secondary video for you to watch. Now, the last thing that you'll notice on this particular website is this nice little subscribe button right here. Okay, so and you guys need to make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube page. Schoology can sometimes have hiccups, and there's sometimes difficulties there. So you can always go to the YouTube page directly, and if you're subscribed, that just brings you straight to the unit that you need to be taking notes on. So make sure that you subscribe, make sure that you take care of that today. Now let's go ahead and let's look at the formatting component of how your notes that you take in my class are supposed to look. So now that we know how to access our video lectures, let's go ahead and let's talk about our notebook and where we're actually going to be placing those notes. All right, so guys, you need to, first of all, purchase a 5-subject spiral-bound notebook. Okay, that is the first thing that you need to be taking care of. You need to be doing that ASAP. This is where all of your notes for this class will go. And basically, you'll need to have it with you every day that you are in class. Okay, so you need to make sure that you have one of those basically ASAP. So 5-subject, spiral-bound notebook. Okay, and basically what's going to happen with that notebook is first thing you're going to do is take the first 3 pages of the notebook and you are going to leave them blank. You guys are going to be using that as your table of contents. And basically as the location for organizing what's actually in your notes. Okay, so this will help you in the long run stay organized and be able to easily access stuff as we progress through the school year. Now, the next thing you need to understand is that there is formatting that is required for the notebook. So first of all, the first formatting thing is that when you are taking notes from the video lectures at home, those video lectures need to be being put on the left-hand side of the notebook. Okay, so you're going to take notes on the left-hand side of a page. Okay, let's say you get to the bottom of that page as you're taking notes. You will then turn the next page and write on the left-hand side again. Okay, so there is not going to be any video lecture notes on the right. Only on the left-hand side is where you're going to place those notes. Okay, now the right-hand side of the notebook is going to be used for in-class stuff. So after you take your video lecture notes and you come into class, what you're going to have are practice problems, or we're going to discuss questions and basically things that you maybe need kind of some insight into or heads up because they get tricky. That's what we're going to use that side of the notebook for. So basically, you're going to get your concepts, you're going to get your content, you're going to get nice, organized, beautiful notes on the left, and then you're going to get nice little add-ins that we're working on in class on the right-hand side. And that's kind of how your formatting is going to look in terms of where to write what. Now, the next thing we need to look at is actually the formatting of how the paper on the left-hand side should look. Okay, so first of all, anytime you start a new unit, you should make sure that you're indicating the unit, okay, unit number 7, and whatever is being covered in that unit. Maybe equilibrium, maybe kinetics, maybe thermodynamics, whatever it is. So you want to make that nice and large, okay, make it very clear that we have a brand new unit up at the top of that page. Now, as we go to watch our video lectures, the first video lecture, so we'll have like video lecture number 1, okay, and the video lecture number 1 is going to consist of your first video lecture, which is titled Equilibrium, and then it says what? Expressions and constants, expressions and constants, okay, you'll put that there and basically emphasize that that's what's being covered below. Okay, and then what you'll do is you'll take your notes. You'll write out whatever expressions they give you. You'll show your diagrams. You'll basically go through and take the notes, the definitions, while you're trying to understand the concepts. And then anytime that there's like a practice problem or example problem, you'll indicate that you're showing the example. You'll tell me what the question is. And you'll actually show the work of the example problem. The reason why I want you guys to do this is because I need you guys to make sure that you have examples and application being expressed in your notes. You need to be able to go to your notes first as the primary source of information. Then you may ask a friend in class and interact then. And then if you guys are still stumped because nobody's sure or you have a question, then I'm going to be that basically third option to answer those questions for you. So you want your notes to be very solid. Okay, now let's say I finish up all the example problems, all the notes for the video lecture number 1. Well, we're still on video lecture number 1, but we have another video that goes along with that, right? And so we'll put the title, right? And I think it's something like this, okay? And basically, once again, we'll delineate that this is a new video lecture, right? So we have our title here, okay? And then once again, take your notes, example problems, what have you, okay? The last thing you guys need to do is you need to make sure that you are numbering your pages in the upper right-hand corner, okay? Basically, you should have some pattern to that. It's up to you how you want to number that. I would just suggest, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, but you guys are going to come up with your own organization pattern for your table of contents. So make sure that you choose something that makes sense to you. Okay, so things that I'm going to be looking for in your notes and your notebooks that you submit. First of all, the notes that you're taking from your video lectures are on the left-hand side of your notebook. That you have a title for the unit, that you have your page number in the upper right-hand corner, that you have what video lecture we're actually looking at, as well as the name of the video. Okay, you're going to show your work, including example problems. And then, of course, if we're still on the same video lecture assignment and we have another video, we're going to indicate that and take our appropriate notes. So basically, these are the formatting things that I'm looking for. If you're missing something, obviously you're going to miss some points. So please make sure you're taking very, very solid notes. Now, the last thing we need to talk about is actually how are you going to submit these notes. Now, we're taking them on paper. We are putting them in that spiral bound notebook. So what you guys need to do is obviously use your iPad to take a photo. That photo is going to get converted into a PDF file and then uploaded into the correct assignment on Schoology. When you do that, you upload it into Schoology. Obviously, you need to go back to that assignment and make sure that you have submitted to the correct assignment. Submitting to the incorrect location will not get you any points. Late points and stuff will apply in that situation, if any. And so you need to make sure that you are going back and checking the submission file and opening and making sure that the correct file is in the correct location. Okay. So basically, this is notes for chemistry.